Alright guys, here we go. We got our Autel AL539B. So go ahead and grab yours. You better be having yours right now. I mean, dang it, what you watching the video for if you ain't got one on your hand? Anyway, check this out. The next thing you want to do is get your fuse eliminators. I've been giving a lot of links out for that for Tooltopia. I think they're like $11 for the three-piece set. I sent my set to Hector, non-mechanic 101, so he can do his own diagnosing and step up the game. Alright, so being that I sent him my thing, my fuse, I'm like, what the heck am I going to use? So I had to go ahead and improvise. What I got here is 2 wires, and I put solderless connectors on it, spades on it. And what I got here, wait a minute, you know what? I'm using something different that's gonna come with your AL539B. And let me show you where I got these and what let me get the thing. I'll be right back. All right, now with your AL539B, look, I haven't even opened it up yet. You're gonna get these test leads with it. It's got 2 little points to it. You know, it's very cool, very nice, you know. But this is not what you want to use with this machine. I went on Amazon and I got this set right here. Okay, oh, got it. Okay, tell me you got it. Tell me you got it. Look at me, look over here. All right, check it out. The reason why I like this is because it has the test leads, and it has banana clips on one end and banana clips on the other end. They come off. And inside the kit, I can either hook up the probes to point things, to prick things, and it comes with a bunch of adapters. Little pins, little sharp things too. I ain't taking them out. They're as sharp as anything. You see that?
No, I'm getting a glare. Yeah, okay.
Alright. And it comes with alligator clips. So that's what I like about this. So this test I'm using my alligator clips. Now the next thing we're gonna do is go over here. Now you wanna find the fuel, all your fuel. Okay, this one has 4 fuel injectors, and all your fuel injectors are going to share one common color wire. This one happens to be brown with yellow. That's the power to all those injectors, and the other wire is the signal wire coming from the computer. Let me break this down simply. This one is voltage, 12 volts, 12 volt, positive, 12 volts, as soon as you cut the key on. So in order for this injector to work, it's got to have the power, then it has ground. Now, so the computer sends a ground through this, but the computer only taps it. It goes tch, tch. So the injector opens and closes, and when it opens, it sprays the fuel, and then it closes back. All right, I'm gonna teach you more about that in a second. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna look for the fuse that powers all injectors. And I already looked this up, popped the cover off, and it's gonna be this 15 amp fuse right here. So let's pull that fuse out. And it's going to be located different on your car and all. And what we're going to do, dang it, I got to get me some new fuel. If you got your fuse eliminators, you're going to put the small one in there, stick it in there, and you're ready to go. But being that Hector got my, dang it, Hector got my, well, they're not mine no more, they're his. What I'm going to do is take these wires, and making them a nice point, and I got my blade ends on each side. And what I'm going to do is stick that down in there on one side. Stick this down in here on the other. And I'm going to look in the link in the description, and I'm going to put the link in there to get those fuse eliminators. As a matter of fact, I'm going to order some as soon as we finish this test. And you definitely need some. Alright, the next thing we're going to do. Let's go over here. We're going to take our Autel. We're going to hook up black to the black. There's only one. I'm not going to hook up the other one yet. Now, this one up here, let's fold this in. So we're going to take our alligator clip, hook it up to there. Dang it. Okay. We're going to take our positive lead.
How do you know which is which?
What do you mean?
Which wire is which?
These?
On this.
Well, this is just going, this one is not positive and negative.
Oh.
This is actually one circuit. And the only thing I'm doing is tapping into that circuit.
Okay.
So don't let the ground and from here and all mess you up, because it will do that. That's why they got to follow my videos,
Yeah.
instructional videos. All right, check it out. We got it hooked up. Now I want to make sure you can get a good look at the screen. And what we're going to do is cut this on. Can you set it up or lay it down?
I don't know until you turn it on.
Oh, I thought I turned it on.
That's good.
All right, so we're going to go down to multimeter. Hit OK. And you're going to scroll it down to 20 amp. All right, the next thing I'm going to do, take my positive lead and we're going to insert it over here. Not over here, on the last one over here where it says 20 amp. Connect that in there. All right, and now what I'm going to do is start the car. All right, check it out, guys. You see this pattern right here? This is exactly what you're getting. I'm gonna show you what these actually mean in a second. Why it ramps up like this, goes across, and come down. But you go, okay, Tim, that's cool. You just graphed the fuel injectors, all of them. But how is that telling me whether I have a? How is that telling me if I got a bad injector? Well, you see how all of them are equally spaced apart, right? So I'm just gonna back it up a little bit. And what I'm gonna do is go over here and I'm gonna unplug this injector while the car's running. Now when I unplug it, I want Sylvia to tell me, is that pattern different? And I'm not gonna say nothing. I want you guys to see, is that pattern different? All right, you look at the pattern.
Well, let me see you unplug it.
No, but
How do you know you unplugged it?
Oh man, y'all something.
Yeah, it looks different.
What looks different about it?
It's like more spaced out. It's like one of the loops is missing.
Exactly. One of them are missing. All right, let me shut this car off and I'll be right back. All right, guys, let me start this back up. All right, there's our pattern. Perfect.
Okay, so how do we know if we do have a bad injector? How do we know which is the bad one?
All right, that's a good question. Now check this out. Now this car is up here.
Oh,
Now this car has injectors that's out in the open. So what we can do is just unplug each one at a time, and if the car has a misfire, we want to unplug the one that will not make the engine change. But a lot of cars out there has the injectors up under a plenum where you can't get to. That's a whole new different story. But with the Autel AL539B, we do have a way of checking that. And I'm not going to go into this one. We're going to go into it on another test when we can test each separate injector.
so we have to wait? What if we have a
test.
bad injector now?
Well, then I ain't hard.
Okay. All right. Well, if we have a misfire, how do first of all, how do we know? This is to test the injectors, right? Well, how do we know it's not a coil?
Causing the misfire?
Yeah.
All right, check this out. We go over here to our pattern right now. Now our pattern right now, and we already proved it, this is showing all of our injectors, right? Now, if I unplug an injector, it's going to cause a misfire, and that pattern breaks up. So what happens if it's a bad coil? So what I'm about to do, I'm about to disconnect the coil, cause a misfire, and you watch our waveform pattern over there. Our waveform pattern is going to stay the same, because as far as the computer's concerned, or as far as the Autel is concerned, hey, the injectors are doing our job. It's something else. So you go over here, with disconnect number 2. We got out, and as you can see, our pattern has stayed the same. There's no missing in there, no missing spike or nothing. And we got a misfire on a coil. And still is letting me know our injectors are A-OK. What? So plug this back up. And it's good. Now, what I want to explain to you on this pattern, guys, and we're going to do a big one. Matter of fact, guys, I'm going to show you something real cool, guys. Watch this right here. I'm going to shut the car off. Because right now, you got a small, you're looking at the small little waveform pattern there. What we're going to do, we're going to unplug our positive one, put it over here to the milliamps, bring this down to the milliamp, and watch what happens when I start this. Look at that. Look at that. Much bigger. So we can actually see it. This I should have this reversed, because actually what it does, I gotta reverse the clarity on this, because let me cut this off and show you what I'm talking about.
I liked it the other way better.
Did?
Yeah.
Alright, check this out.
Back up again?
Yeah. Fuel injectors have what's called injector pulse width. I'm going to explain this as easy as possible. Now, you got your injector, just opens and closes. How long that injector stays open is called the pulse width. So the computer is going to send that ground, poof, activate that injector, and then it's going to be a line over here that holds that injector open, and then it's going to shut it down. Now you might say, why the computer want to do that? When you step on your gas, you're at a high speed, you're doing 125 miles an hour, that car needs a lot of fuel, because it got a lot of air coming in, so it needs a lot of fuel. So that computer said, whoa, it's got to hold that injector open longer to get into that chamber. Also, when the car is cold, it needs a lot of fuel. So the computer commands that injector to open longer. That's called the injector pulse width. Now, in the beginning of that waveform pattern, on the little ones, you see the line goes like this. Because what happens is, the computer's starting from 0 volts, and it actually picking it up. Dang, what the heck? It's picking it up 5 volts, 6, 7, 8, up to 12 volts. That's where you get that ramp right there. Up to 12 volts, then it holds the injector open, and then bam, it shuts it off. Now, if you got an injector that's got a short in it, one of those patterns, you're going to have little wiggly lines in there. It's going to show you that's messed up. And you definitely want to do that on the milliamps scale. So, that's a cool test. Wait a minute. So you make sure you go to the people that tells you it cannot be done. It tells you you cannot graft an ignition coil. You cannot graft an injector. Stupefied. There you go. And in our next test, we're going to either be graphing the coil, or we're going to be graphing separate injectors, especially so you can get to ones that's up under the intake.